Hey YouTube, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. This channel is There Has to Be Something More. I'm your humble host, Scott Moore, here with one of my babies. This is Matilda, aka Maddie. Lydia and I just did a border run yesterday, so kind of wanted to fill you in on the details. Forgive me for, I've got some notes here that I wrote down because I didn't want to forget anything, but if you haven't seen this channel before, you're not familiar with a border run or a visa run, when you come into Guatemala, you get 90 days and you can stay here as a tourist. At that point, you need to get an extension. If you'd like to stay longer, you can get an extension. It's easy. We do it with an attorney. It costs about $100 per person. After that, if you want to stay longer, before 6 months hits, you need to do a border run. You need to leave the country. There's something called the C4, which is Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, and Guatemala. If you go to one of those countries, it does not count as leaving the country. So people here, for the most part, here in Shela, we're 4 hours away from the Mexican border. There's a couple of places where you can cross over. We go to a place called El Carmen. There's a little city on the, not even a city, a little town on the Mexican side that we have yet to go to, but it's Tapachula. We're told that it's a nice little town, and you can go there now. So here's the deal. Once you cross, it's really up to Mexico as to how long they make you stay there. The real rule is that you're supposed to stay there for 72 hours. Most people don't like to go over there and stay for 3 days. So they, but some people do. Or you can go to San Cristobal. You can take a minivan up there for like 3 days or a week or something, and kind of make it into a little mini vacation or something. Usually we're just trying to get it done. So we try to go and come back as soon as we can. We just asked the guy that checked us into Mexico how long he wanted us to stay, which I don't know. I don't know if that's a smart idea or not. But anyway, he just flat out told us, stay for 2 hours and I'll sign you back, going heading the other way. So that's what we did. Really close, like within 5 minutes of the immigration building, there are a bunch of little tiny restaurants with, so you can, go there, you can have breakfast, you can have lunch, get a Coca-Cola, whatever you want to do, and just kind of relax. Even if you don't ask, you can just try to go back in 2, 3, 4 hours. Some people try to wait for a shift change, so they don't see the same person. And that might be a good way to do it as well. But thought I would just run through these with you. And Maddie keeps pulling on my leash, so I'm sorry if the video keeps moving. Wanted to go through some of these numbers. So first of all, the costs. Now, to get there, we decided we were going to wake up real early and take an Uber. Now you can shop Ubers here, different costs, but anyway, we found a pretty inexpensive Uber, 500 quetzales, which is roughly 65 bucks. And we woke up at 4 in the morning, left at 5 in the morning. We were there, I don't know, 9:15 or so at the border. Borders are always kind of sketchy, so you just have to, kind of watch what you're doing. There's a million helpers walking around, and they're not helpers. So you just kind of walk by them, say thanks, but no thanks. So again, we just went in, we went to the Guatemalan place, immigration office, where they checked us out. So they stamp our passport that we've left Guatemala. Then we go to the Mexican building, they check us in, we wait a couple hours, come back to the Mexican building, they check us out, and then go back into Guatemala. Now, when you go back into the Guatemalan building and you're re-entering, what you're hoping for is they'll give you another 90 days. A lot of times we're told that if they see that you keep running in and out every 6 months and you're not staying away very long, that they can give you 30 days. So just something to think about there. On the way home, we did not have the Uber wait because, the first time we did this, we were in and out of there in 5 minutes. This time the guy told us 2 hours, so We didn't want to have the Uber guy wait. We thought, you know what, we'll just try grabbing buses home on the way back and just to see how it goes, just for future reference. So here's how it went. Microbus to a little town called Malacaton was about 60 cents or $1. From there, we took a bus to San Marco, which was about $5. From San Marco, we took a bus to get back here in Shayla. It was about $3, although we got scammed by the driver and his assistant, and they ripped us off for 20 quetzales. Long story, gave us a receipt because we gave them 100 Q. We're supposed to give us back 60. They handed us 40 when we got off the bus and took off, like almost ran us over. So they, you know, they kept 20 quetzales, you know, which is $2.50. But, you know, it was an experience, so live and learn. I was not going to try to, you know, get in a fight with anybody over $2.50. And then we grabbed an Uber home from where they dropped us off in Shayla, which was near Interplaza Mall. And that was about $6. So the whole way home only cost us, it was a lot of work, and it was wait and grab this bus, grab that bus. It cost us about $15. So, you know, it's a long trip. It's normally, you know, if you just go all the way there in a car, it's about 4 hours. But it did convince us to, you know, keep, you know, start really, we've gotten the information that we need about getting residency here, and we are going to start working on that. A couple different ways that you can do that. If you're working on your residency, if you speak Spanish very well, or you've got a friend or a partner that speaks Spanish very well, you might want to try it on your own. We have been told by friends here, other expats, that they've used an attorney, which made it really easy. And the total cost with the attorney is about $1,500. The fee for the attorney is about $650. So, you know, you can save, you know, $650 if you do it yourself. So the DIY price is about $875. So a few things that you're going to need for sure. The three most important things to start off with: you're going to have to go get fingerprinted. And there's only one place to do that we know of, and that's according to the lawyer. And that's in Guatemala City. It's a place called Unidad Criminalística. That's in Zone 6, Guatemala City. So you can Google that and find it. But that's the only place in the whole country where you can get fingerprinted. It seems very strange to me, but even in a city with 1 million people like Shayla, you cannot get your fingerprints done here. So you need to get your fingerprints done, which will allow you to get an FBI report from the US. That's number one. Number two, you have to get a copy of your pension or Social Security that shows how much money you get every month. There's a letter that you can get from Social Security. And if you're married, you need a marriage certificate. And all three of those must be apostilled. Now, apostilled is kind of a fancy term for an international notary. After that, it's just about $40 a year to keep your residency. And anytime you leave the country, they charge you $30 just for the verification, for them to check and just make sure that you do have residency here. And then every 5 years, you have to do an income report, just showing once again, hey, this is still my income, you know, I still get my Social Security check or my pension or both. So that's about it. I mean, that kind of gives you the basics of, you know, now there are people here, there are a lot of expats, and they do the border runs for years and years and years. One of the expats on the forum said he had been doing it for 17 years. Now it does cost, every 3 months you have to do an extension, about $100. Every 6 months you've got to leave the country. I mean, if you do it on the cheap, you know, $100. So, you know, you've got a couple $100, maybe $400 or $500 every year if you do that. Where if you have the residency, you know, it's only $40 a year. So, you know, you can shave $400 or $500 off of your annual budget if you go through the residency process. And really, I mean, doing the border run, it's not easy. I mean, we left at 5 a.m. and we got home about 5 p.m. It's a long day, and down at the border, it is hot and sweaty, and I was, we were exhausted when we got home. So, I don't want to do that too many more times. So we are going to start working on residency. Even if we do it slowly, I may have to do the border run one or two more times, but we are going to at least start working on getting all of our paperwork in order. Hope that's helpful for y'all. Please take a minute to like and subscribe. We are at about 901 subscribers. Really hoping in the next couple months to hit that magic 1,000 mark. So if you could help us, please like, subscribe, comment below, share some of our videos on Facebook, maybe friends or family that are interested in living abroad, traveling abroad, kind of seeing what it's like. They can, take a peek. We have a lot of videos, the old videos from when we were in Nicaragua for a year, last year. And then we're almost about to hit 1 year here. This is, today is Sunday, December 29th. And we got here January 9th last year, or this year. So we're just about to hit that 1 year mark here in Guatemala. We absolutely love Shayla still after a year. We have no plans to leave. It's absolutely beautiful here. The weather's perfect every day. So I hope you all follow along. And remember, if you need an adventure, there has to be something more.